was in a coffee shop ordering coffee. So I come up and she says, next online. I say, can I get a coffee? And she looks at me, she says, well, what kind? I said, what are my options? She said, well, you can get an espresso, double shot espresso, Americano, latte, ice blended, nitro brew. I said, I don't know, I just want coffee. She said, okay, fine. What do you want in there? I said, milk. She says, well, we have almond milk, soy milk, half and half, 1%, 2%, whole milk. I said, come on, really? Just milk? She said, last question, sugar? I said, yeah. What kind of sugar? Seriously? White sugar, brown sugar, granulated sugar, agave, regular melted sugar. I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, that's ridiculous. All I want is a cup of coffee. And I have so many options to choose from. But then I thought about it. I know that I want one kind of coffee, but there are hundreds of people who come through the door and they want something else. And they're catering to people's needs. And it's not a bad thing, because one flavor doesn't fit all. What I like, somebody else might not like. What they like, I once saw there was like this big pecan pie there. And I was with a friend and I said, I wonder who in the world buys this stuff. And she looks at me, she's like, what do you mean? I love it, it's my favorite pie. I said, okay, I guess now I know why they make these things. Because human beings are different. Just like we look different, we all have the same set, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, yet we all look different. In fact, when people tell us, oh, you look just like, our knee-jerk reaction is, I don't want to look like anybody. I don't look like anybody, I like to look. So why is it when it comes to thinking, to personality, to emotions, we push conformity? We all have to think one way. We all have to act one way. But we're not built that way. Just like we don't look the same, we certainly don't think the same. We don't have the same tastes. We don't have the same personalities. And it's not just okay. That's what makes us so magnificent. If you look at the world, you're struck by this symmetry. There's this balance between nature, between the forests and the rivers and the animals. There's an ecosystem. And if you look close, you'll notice nothing's the same. The birds are nothing like the sharks. The sharks are nothing like the ibex. The mountains are certainly not like the rivers. And yet they blend harmoniously to create a world. Because we need unity, not conformity. We don't all need to be the same. We need to be able to work in tandem, absolutely. But imagine if everybody wanted to be social workers. I'd be out of business. Because we can't all be doing the same thing. We can't all be thinking the same thing. We can't all be acting the same way. So why is there such a push to conform? If you don't look a certain way, you don't act a certain way, and the closed a society is, the more nuanced it becomes. It's not just what kind of clothing, but the exact style, the exact brand. It's not just what language, it's what accent. It's not just what you wear on your head, it's what type, how long, how short, what color. And suddenly we take a world that has so much color and we turn to black and white. And while black and white photos might be really cool because it reminds us of the early 1900s, the world doesn't operate in black and white. We're meant to have a vibrant, active world. A friend of mine recently told me that before her husband leaves her house, she looks him up and down, and if there's anything that she doesn't like he's wearing, she makes him go and change. I said, are you kidding? She said, no, I'm serious. I said, you tell your husband what to wear? She said, of course. And I'm looking at her, because I'm not sure if she's joking, and she was absolutely serious. And I said, but he's not a clone of you. He's your partner. He's your soulmate. He's your spouse. But he's also another human being. And he's going to have his own style, his own personality. Why would you tell him what to wear? And what does his clothing have to do with you? It doesn't tell me anything about you. But we frequently think that those who are closest to us reflect us most. And by and large, the world is judgmental. So they do. They see our siblings, They see our spouses, they see our children, and they tend to judge us based on them. Fear or not, it does happen. But if we were honest, every single human being was created differently. Our children, our siblings, our spouses, even ourselves. Some days we wake up in this mood, some days you wake up in that mood. Sometimes in the same day you're feeling many different moods and flavors and colors. And it doesn't mean that you're confused. It means that we're complicated. Because as human beings who are more than just an amoeba with one cell, we are very complicated. And that's what makes us so beautiful. It's not just one color. It's a tapestry that's full of tons of different fabric pieced together that makes us who we are. And I'm asking us, in the push for unity, never confuse that with conformity. Because cohesiveness is beautiful. Balance is incredible. It brings peace, it brings serenity. But don't forget the coffee shop. There are 21 plus flavors. When it comes to human beings, there are billions plus flavors. And it's not just okay. It's the way Hashem created us. And who are we to mess with his beautiful plan?